Hey everyone, I'm Steve Brown with It's My Railroad, and sometimes I get sidetracked. Hey rail fans, welcome to Sidetrack. This is the place we keep the stuff that doesn't exactly fit in with one of our project builds, but we want to share with you anyway. So if you're new here, consider subscribing, and then don't forget to push the little bell icon so you can catch future videos. Well, if you've been watching Track Smack on Saturday mornings at 7 a.m. Pacific live, you'll see that we've been talking about my proposal to put a 5% grade on the new expansion of the Brown-Smith Railroad. Now here's the deal. A lot of guys with more experience than me have been very kindly cautioning me against doing that. And here's the thing, I am not so confident with myself as a regular guy that I can just tell them all to stuff it, okay? I actually thought, well, matter of fact, I promised them, I'm just going to try an experiment and see what I can get away with, because it would be a shame to build it all excited, and then try to run my trains and have it just bogged down and just be an embarrassment to the model railroad community. So we're gonna test that out today. But before we do, just a couple points about my 5% grade. First, I'm trying to get a 5% grade to match the drama of a prototypical scene that I'm going to try to model all back through here. It's the Cajon Pass from Devore, which is at the 215 freeway intersection, all the way up to Barstow. There's a section in there that I've been looking at for years, and I just want to model that. Well, here's the deal. They don't have a 5% grade there. But when you watch these trains just chugging up through there, begging for mercy, it's pretty powerful from a model railroader, from a rail fan point of view. So I want to have that kind of drama. I'm not going to get it with a 2% grade over here, in my opinion. I won't. To get it, to accentuate it, the power in it, I want to go with a 5% grade if I can get away with it, which brings me to point number 2. If for some reason a 5% grade isn't going to work, and we discover that today in this episode, well then I'll back away to a 4% grade, 3.5% grade. The highest grade I can get to get my job done. The rest of it, I will make up for in the helix over here under Switch Junction. So 5% is the goal I'm after. Not certain if I can get it, but we're certainly going to give it a try. And then the third thing I want to cover with you is I'm only going to be moving probably 8 cars at a time up that grade through the helix and over to Port Smith. This layout up here is designed for 8-car trains, 6-car trains, somewhere in there. If I start pushing the length of the trains too long, it doesn't fit on the sidings I have, doesn't fit over in the port, very difficult to switch over at Port Smith. So 10 cars is really the ultimate max, probably not practical. But if I want to rail fan my trains, just let it go round and round, which I love to do, and which is the purpose of my expansion, by the way, I want to be able to have enough cars on there to make it happen. So 10 cars is what I'm thinking I want to bring up this hill. I don't even know if it's possible at a 5% grade. Now, I've built this platform right here, which is adjustable, and what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to take you on a little journey where how I built this, how the testing I used to get this done, and at the end I will tell you what I discovered about a 5% grade. Does it work? Will it work, or will it not work? We are going to find out in this episode, and we're going to start doing it right now. Well, so I grabbed one of the 1x3s I'm going to use to build the expansion for the BSR and decided to use that as a test bed to build me an 8-foot-long, 1-track railroad this evening. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to support it at one end with one of my video stands that's got like a 3/8 inch stud in it. And then I dropped my drill bit out of the drill. There you go, regular guy curse. Decided to ream it out a little bit just because of the angle of the stud. I took the wing nut and washer off and installed the wood on it and then tightened it back down. This way the test track is not going to fall over or whatever. But I can adjust it now to whatever I want, even to a 40% grade like that one. I decided to start with a baseline of 0 because obviously that makes the most sense. That way I know how to measure for a 5% grade. Then I just went through and I built myself a little one-track main model railroad. Of course, you have to remove the railroad ties to get the rail joiners on there. Now, since this is a temporary deal and I want to just be able to go ahead and get it done right now, I got the old hot glue gun out and put hot glue right near the joints and at the ends, basically the ends of the segments of track. Later on, what I'm hoping to do is just snip the track outside of that glue area and save the piece of track in between and just throw the rest away. I had some number 16 blue and black wire stranded left over, and I just decided to use it to power the track. I took some advice from some of you subscribers out there, and I went ahead and I pre-tinned the wire and the rails before I soldered it, and I gotta tell you, it really made it a lot easier to do. To get DCC down to the track, I just went up to a nearby terminal block, unplugged the existing wiring, and plugged in the wires that came from the test track. Then of course you got to go through and clean the track because the factory does not send it clean, as it turns out. Then we plug in the DCC, boot it up, and make sure a train will run all the way to the end. Now the baseline here, this thing sits 36 inches above the floor. If I do the math, 96 inches at 5% nets me about 5 inches. So I need to raise this platform 5 inches, which I did, and then reset it. So I sent the Jeep up to 5% grade by itself, because if it can't get up by itself, there's no hope for it at this point, right? All right, now time for the real testing. Put 4 cars on it and sent them up the hill. And before it even got all the way up, it starts slowing down and the wheels are slipping, and we cannot get 4 cars up a 5% grade with a single Jeep. So what the heck, let's put 2 Jeeps in front of this thing. Now here's the thing too, I have seen live myself 2 Jeeps doing switching operations with very short trains. I believe they do that so they have more acceleration, better braking, so they can do their switching operations quicker. So it would not be unprototypical to see 2 Jeeps at the head of a small train. And even if it is unprototypical, it's my railroad. I would do it if I needed to. So you can see with 2 Jeeps and 4 cars, not a problem. Goes all the way to the end. How about with 6 cars? Well, with 6 cars, it didn't make it all the way. So let's make it a 3-headed consist and see what happens. Wow, look at that. Doesn't even breathe heavy getting up that hill. All right, now we're gonna put 10 cars on a 3-headed consist and see if we can make it up this 5% grade. It's huffing. It's puffing. And it gets all the way there. Well, there you go, rail fans. We have now demonstrated that with 3 at the head, we can pull 10 cars up a 5% grade. Very exciting stuff. Allows me to continue unencumbered with my plans to expand the Brown-Smith Railroad down below. Very exciting stuff. Thank you for going on this journey with me. Hey, listen, this is the kind of stuff we do here on Sidetrack, It's My Railroad, and now our new live Saturday morning show, Track Smack. So if you are into that kind of thing, you might as well just go ahead and subscribe now. And then like and share this video with somebody. Don't forget to join up with us on Facebook and Instagram. I have had a great time being here with you guys. I hope you had a good time too. And until next time, my name is Steve Brown. Rail on, my friends.